What if you could travel back in time to reconnect with someone you've lost? Not just for a fleeting moment, but to have a real conversation, to feel the weight of their presence, hear their voice again, and say all the things you left unsaid. It's the stuff of wild fantasies, right? But Amy Kurzweil brings this impossible dream to life in her story. Time traveling with Ol to connect with lost loved ones. Ol's not your average time traveler. He doesn't have a flashy time machine or some high-tech gadgetry. No wild, dramatic entrances in a puff of smoke or zipping through wormholes. Ol's just Ol. He's the guy with the power to take you back to any moment in time, but not for the reasons you'd think. You're not traveling to witness historical events or meet your past self. No, Ol's specialty is more profound, more personal. He takes you back to connect with someone you've lost, someone you loved, someone who's no longer here, but who you desperately wish could be. Now, close your eyes for a second and imagine this. You could visit your childhood again. You could step back into a memory where you laughed so hard with a loved one that your sides hurt and tears streamed down your face. Or maybe you'd choose to go back to a moment where you sat quietly with someone who always knew just how to calm you when you were anxious. The kind of person who knew what you were feeling before you even had to say a word. Maybe it's a grandparent who always had the best stories. Or a best friend who always had your back. You could be with them again, even for just a little while. You could feel their presence, listen to their voice, and relive a moment you thought was lost forever. It sounds like the perfect gift, doesn't it? But, of course, it's not as easy as it seems. Ol has rules. He's not some magician or miracle worker. There are strict boundaries. First and foremost, you can't change the past. No matter how much you want to, no matter how strong the temptation is to do something differently this time. You can't undo what happened. You can't stop the bad from happening or write history. This isn't about time travel to alter the course of events. It's not about saving someone you couldn't save the first time around. It's about something more subtle, more emotional. What you do get is a visit. A real visit with a lost loved one. You get the chance to reconnect, to have that heart-to-heart conversation you've been replaying in your mind. The one you've dreamed about having. Maybe it's the apology you never got to give. Maybe it's the forgiveness you need to hear. Maybe it's the I love you that you wish you'd said one more time. You can say it now. All the regrets, the unfinished business, the things you didn't get to say or do, now's your chance. But here's the catch. You don't get to change the outcome. You don't get to save them, no matter how much you want to. The past is the past, and it stays that way. You're just there to visit, to reconnect, to face your loss, head on, with all the raw emotions that come with it. It's a gift and a burden all at once. When you arrive in the past, everything is as you remember it. The sights, the sounds, the smells. You're standing in a moment frozen in time, but the feelings are as real as ever. You're not a ghost watching from the sidelines. You're there, fully present, living that moment again. And the person you've come to see, they're as real as you are. You can touch them, talk to them, feel their presence as if they never left. Full-length conversations happen here, and these aren't surface-level chats. These are the deep, emotional, gut-wrenching talks you never thought you'd get to have. People pour their hearts out. They say the things they've been holding inside for years, sometimes decades. It's intense, but it's healing too. The words flow freely, the emotions raw and real. And it's in these conversations that people finally get some sense of closure. But closure doesn't come easy. Not when you're sitting face to face with someone you thought was gone forever. It's bittersweet and all. Well, he's there to guide you through it all. He's not a therapist or a wise old sage, but he knows a thing or two about grief. He's been doing this a long time, and he's seen it all. Every reaction, every tear, every moment of anger or sorrow. He's seen people laugh, cry, scream, and fall silent in disbelief. He knows what's coming, even when you don't. So, he prepares you in his own way. I'm not here to make you happy. I'll explains. I'm here to give you closure. You can't fix the past, but you can heal from it. That's the hard part, isn't it? You get to face your pain, your loss, but in the end, you're the one who has to walk away, not them. You don't get to stay in that moment, no matter how much you want to. You don't get to bring them back with you to the present. You say what you need to say, hear what you need to hear, and then it's time to go. And that's where the real healing begins, in the walking away. You'd think people would leave heartbroken. After all, they just relived a moment with someone they loved and lost. But that's not what happens. People walk out lighter, freer. Al has a way of making sure of that. He's got this mix of humor and wisdom that keeps you grounded. He'll crack a joke when the tension's too thick or say something profound that hits you right in the gut. He keeps it real, keeps you from getting too lost in the fantasy. This isn't about time travel. Al says, it's about letting go. Think about that for a second. It's not about reliving the good times or rewriting the bad. It's about acceptance. About facing your grief head on and then choosing to move forward. Al doesn't let you live in the past. He won't allow it. The past is a place to visit, he says, not a place to live. And that's the beauty of it. People come to Al expecting to relive a perfect moment, expecting to find some kind of peace in the nostalgia. But instead, they relive the truth, and sometimes the truth hurts. It's not always the picture-perfect memory they had in their head. It's raw, it's real, and it's messy. But that's where the healing happens, in the mess, in the truth. Al's not in the business of making things easy. He's not here to fix your life or erase your pain. He's here to help you face it, to guide you through it. And when you walk away, you don't walk away with a sense of loss. You walk away with a sense of closure, of understanding, of peace. At the end of every session, Al says the same thing. Remember, the past is gone, but you're still here. And that's what matters. It's simple, but it hits deep. It reminds you that life goes on, that you're still living, still breathing, still moving forward, even after the loss. And that's where the real power of this journey lies. Not in the time travel, not in the ability to reconnect with a lost loved one, but in the realization that you can move forward, that you can heal. This story, time traveling with Al to connect with lost loved ones, isn't really about time travel. It's about grief. It's about loss. It's about the human experience of saying goodbye and how, even after someone's gone, we still carry them with us. It's about how reconnecting with the past can help us heal the future. Al's journey isn't about fixing what went wrong. It's about accepting what happened, finding peace in it, and moving forward. It's about learning to let go, not with sadness, but with gratitude for the time you had. And in the end, that's the real journey. Not the journey through time, but the journey through grief. A journey that, thanks to Al, doesn't end with heartbreak. It ends with healing, and maybe, just maybe, that's what we all need.